Crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2 and happy Thanksgiving. I mean, guys, I'm really trying to figure out where the year has gone, and all of a sudden, here we are at Thanksgiving. And I know we're at Thanksgiving because I have a 25-pound turkey sitting on the counter right now. So, fortunately, I have that kind of partner who I decided to let him do the turkey. So he's never done a turkey, interesting enough. And so he jumped in the car this morning because the recipe he found says in the cavity, you've got to put an onion, rosemary, thyme, an apple, and all this. And I was like, yeah, I've never done all that. And I've done turkeys for years. But he's at the grocery picking up a few extra things because we didn't think about it prior. So it is what it is. So thank you for sharing part of your holiday with me this morning. It's early 7 a.m. here in Phoenix, but we're going to have a good time today. We're going to talk about some different things. I've got some giveaways. We'll have an opportunity to share in that. My plan today is to work on the potato chip quilt. I am using Stacy Lee's pattern. There's no, I don't know that anyone really owns the copyright, but Stacy Lee actually put together a nice reference sheet in that, how to do it. It's a free pattern out on her website, which is Stacy, STACEY dash Lee, LEE.com. So if you haven't grabbed that and choose to, feel free to go out and do it. She's got a video that goes with it and all those fun things. So just a chance for us to have some fun and talk about all good things Thanksgiving. So Joydy was first in this morning. She's up bright and early and raring to go. And so welcome in, Joydy. Thanks for being here. She says she's making soup. She's not going anywhere, and it's cold there. I'm not a fan of turkey. Interesting. So it was warm enough here yesterday that we hit about 78, 79. And with trying to get the house ready for guests coming today, I actually had to turn the AC back on. It was like, okay, I'm really trying to avoid paying that utility company here in Arizona any more money because they're a for-profit and they definitely are setting record profits. And as such, just announced that they need a 14% increase. That's over the 7 or 8% they got 6 months ago and the 12% they got before that. So I think our local utility here is determined they want to be higher than PG&E or anywhere else. So they're working really hard to be the highest in the country. So it won't take a few more hikes than they will be. All right, we're going to keep everything positive today. It is Happy Thanksgiving. Julie's here. Good morning, John, and all my quilty friends. Who else is here? Jen's here. Good morning, Jen. Thanks for being here. My buddy Carl is here. Good morning, Carl. We finally got some thread put in Barney and starting to work on him. So now I got to figure out where Barney fits into all the other routines. But definitely want to spend some time playing on my new singer that Mr. Carl put together for us. So we are anxious to devote some time there. Hey, Julie, good morning. She says, loving my shirt. Thank you very much. So I am one of those fanatics, right? Just, I don't know. Just, I guess it depends on how you were raised. But yes, my partner and I always have matching shirts for holidays and different things going on. He just grins and smiles. I don't know that he necessarily likes always having to wear matching shirts, but it's just part of being in a relationship, right? So this is our new Thanksgiving shirt for 2025. Who else is here? Death Diablo's here. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome in. Quilter 824. Janet's here. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Jody says the time change is killing me. I understand. I so appreciate that we don't change time, but yet, like my niece, who I'm pretty close to, she's really like the only sister I've ever had, lives in Virginia, and we typically talk once a week. And so half the year it's 2 hours difference, half the year it's three. So I feel like all I do is recalculate time, regardless of the fact we just don't change clocks, but still it does alter everything else in the rest of the country. So, and I think everyone's given up hope that they're not ever going to not change times. Balloonist is here. Welcome in from down in Tucson. Good to see you. Janetta's here. Good morning. She says super hugs. Better get the bird in the oven. We don't want to eat raw. Correct. So that's what my partner is doing right now, is getting ours put in the roaster. And if all goes well, fingers crossed, it should be ready about 1:15 or so. And then we will have we're supposed to eat around 2, which really means 2:30 by the time everyone gets here, we get settled and we get in. So I have to make side dishes. Once we're done, I made cranberry salad yesterday because mom makes it. I grew up with a cranberry relish with crushed orange and crushed pineapple and sugar and cranberries and all that. And then you make that relish, let it sit for a couple of days and kind of ferment. And then you put a couple of cups in the in a full size box of Jello. So I got that done yesterday. So I have no idea. Mama Jan's here. Welcome in, Mama Jan. She's now Janetta 1941. Have no idea what you did, but we can fix it, I'm sure. Death said he's she Death says making turkey for my partner's family and then going to my family's get together afterwards. So yes, thank you, Joy. She likes my shirt. Yeah, it's interesting. So we don't have any actual blood family out here, which is fine because most of them I don't like or get along with, anyways. Um, and But we do have a lot of very close friends that we consider family. So that is the plan today. We have a few of those coming over. I also live in a community where I know there are some folks that might have not have somewhere to be today or someone to be with, which really bothers me. And if and when we know that, we always try to invite them over because I don't think anyone should ever be alone for the holidays, no matter no matter what their lifestyle may have been previously. Right? Um, I just believe in having an open house and an open community. So I enjoy having folks over, and we enjoy celebrating. Oh, look, Janet says she's thankful for her YouTube friends and that she's made and that she's learned from. I tell you what, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Right, we're getting close to 4,800 total subscribers, which just is phenomenal to me. It just amazes me that folks want to tune in, listen, and be part of the channel. But at the same time, I tell you, it's nice to have a safe place. It's nice to be able to chat, share similar interests, and those type of things. I'm fortunate because I have a great quilt club, but again, because I work full time, they meet mainly during the week, during the day. So they do very little at night, if anything, and they do a couple of Saturdays a month, and I try to get there. But when you work full time too, your Saturdays and Sundays become precious. So it's not like I can always just jump and run down there. So, but I'm very fortunate. I have a very supportive quilt club, but at the same time, my YouTube is what really fills that void and fills that need for us. Ah, sorry, guys. This is only my third one this morning, and usually by now, if I was at work, that would probably be my fourth or fifth. Katrina says she's going to her son-in-law's for Thanksgiving. How nice! I mean, when I lived back in Virginia, and that I was the Thanksgiving house. Even back in the day in Kentucky when we were there, I had taken over Thanksgiving for the family. At that point, they still liked me and we got along. So I did Thanksgiving, Christmas, and that. I'm used to entertaining. I'm used to holidays. I like to have folks in. Um, Last night we got the house straight and put together because it's just with all the reorg, the house has just been flying and just been kind of crazy. But we got all of that put together yesterday, last night. Need to finish doing floors a little bit today, but overall the house is ready. This morning I got up early, actually got out the tablecloths, the napkins, all of that. So after the YouTube live this morning, I'll be able to go in and set the place settings and the table and that. And then last night, before we went to bed, I actually got all the casserole dishes out because so the entire buffet is set. I just now need to go back behind myself and put food in the casserole dishes because I'll make dressing today. I'll make broccoli casserole. I'll make corn pudding. And so if you have not watched Schmigadoon on Apple, I love Schmigadoon. It is the dumbest kind of live action play. Um, on Apple TV, it's about a couple that cross over this bridge, and when they do, um, they basically cross over the bridge and they come to life in this musical. And so every time something happens, they break into song and dance. But one of the songs in the show is corn pudding. And for me, there's like three things I have to have for, well, probably four things I have to have for Thanksgiving, or to me, it's not Thanksgiving. One is the cranberry salad that I grew up with. I have to have that. I have to have Paula Deen mac and cheese. That's just tradition for us. I have to have broccoli casserole. I love my broccoli casserole, and I absolutely have to have corn pudding. And so it's interesting that in that show, corn pudding is one of their songs. Balloon says she's always alone for Thanksgiving, except for your YouTube friends. That's sad, but I am glad you are able to be with us this morning and that you are able to share part of your day with us. It's interesting. One of the things I used to love was to get up and watch the Macy's Day Parade, but I miss the days where you could actually watch the parade and not watch commentaries, commercials, and an occasional Broadway dance. It was like, okay, so the parade itself is just kind of gone away. I mean, I'm sure if you're there, it's totally different. But at the same time, I can't imagine being in New York this time of year because one thing John does not do and John does not like is cold. So no way am I doing cold. Um, Happy Thanksgiving. Good morning, Katrina, Joy, Jackie, DB Stitch Art is here. Good morning. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. And Julie says, what pattern is the gnome pattern behind you? So I have no idea. That is a quilt that I bought about 4 years ago from a lady at a craft show in Sun City. And so that's actually what started all of this madness and actually got me into quilting in that. So I really have no idea what pattern that is, where that came from. I fell in love with it because I'm a huge gnome supporter, and then most of the fabrics that she used for the gnomes is Disney, and so I love Disney. I love gnomes. It's just all Christmassy, so it was just everything that I like and so I just had to have it. But I have no idea where she got the pattern. I am sure that all of that is hand cut and put together because I can't imagine that she would have done it any other way. And it actually looks like she appliqued on top of the quilting. So it looks like she did all the quilting and then went back and appliqued um, the gnomes because, or maybe she free motioned because none of the gnomes are stitched over in that as far as the quilting. She may have done free motion. I just can't imagine doing that kind of work. Thank goodness that I have a um, computerized long arm. Jackie says, I'm finishing setting up my card making corner in my dining room. Is that time of year too, I tell you. All right, so let's get some coffee. So I'm going to work on, so I'd be curious, what patterns, what are you working on this morning? Obviously, we know DB Stitch Art is working on setting up her card making and some of that this morning. Are any of you sewing this morning? Are your Christmas projects done, ready to be mailed? My kids did get their pre-Christmas box this week. So I was excited. My son got his Monday. My niece got hers on Wednesday, which I don't even know why I bother shipping her stuff post office from here. I sent her a box last year, or a wreath earlier this year, shipped at the post office, which is the way we ship 98% of our stuff. It left Phoenix, it went to Florida, it went from Florida to Hawaii, and from Hawaii back to Virginia. So, needless to say, it took 2 weeks and went around the world. And she said, what was funny is when she finally got it, like the box was perfect. So, they hadn't destroyed it or beat it up, but still, it was just crazy. So, she was supposed to get her box on Monday, along with my son, who got his box on Monday, and she ended up getting her box Wednesday because apparently it went to Memphis and sat in Memphis for several days. So I don't know what the post office does for some reason why they struggle to get anything from Phoenix to Virginia, but they certainly seem to have their challenges in doing so. My daughter got her box yesterday. She hadn't said anything about it. I feel bad for her. Um, Her father-in-law passed away um, Tuesday, I believe Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. He passed away. So they're dealing with all of that with the family and that. And I feel bad for them. My son in law was obviously close to his dad. My daughter was very close to her father in law. So it's a big loss for them, especially at the holidays, right? It just never, a loss is a loss anytime, but during the holidays, it just seems to make it even tougher. So they're dealing with that. So I know her box arrived yesterday, but she didn't text me about it, but she will. They'll get caught up, but it's they've got a lot going on with the kids. Obviously finishing school and break for a long Thanksgiving, and then dealing with that, and then probably trying to explain some of this to a 8 and 6 year old. So their Thanksgiving is certainly going to be impacted this year. All right, I am sorting out the fabrics that I put together for my um, potato chip quilt. I started cutting fabrics, then I was like, oh, that's not enough variety, so let's add some more, and maybe that'll be enough variety. And by the time I got done, I ended up with plenty of variety, way more than I actually anticipated, but that's okay. All of this actually came from Stash, interesting enough, because as you know, for potato chip, I guess traditional potato chip quilts are 2.5 by 4.5 uh, blocks. And I had won last year when I went to Quilt Club. I had won left, right, center that game, and they play with jelly strips. And so the jelly strips that I won were all Christmas fabrics. So I was able to get those out and sort through those. So most of those were fabrics, were pieces that I have never had, probably would not have necessarily bought. But when I dice them up right for something like this, they just look perfect. So that's where a lot of these came from. But it's going to be interesting to see how this comes together. I am planning. I think if you look at Stacy Lee, she says she makes 4, 8, 12, 16 blocks. That is probably what I'm going to make. I may end up making 20 because I may end up making mine a little bit bigger. So what's nice is she actually gives dimensions. So if you're looking for a baby quilt, that's 9 blocks. A crib quilt's 12. She considers a throw to be 20 blocks, but she considers a twin to be 48 blocks. So we'll see. I am going to make blocks till I'm tired of making blocks. Then we will look at putting those together later, and then decide how many total I have, and then how we put those together to make it turn out as something. So this one fabric I've got, I absolutely love because it is the Rudolph or whatever. It's Jingle Jangle, right from the Year Without Santa Claus. So look how cute that fabric is. And that is one of the first fabrics I bought because I actually bought this from the lady that taught me how to help get me going in quilting. And so turn him on because I have to iron constantly in between or it's not going to work for me. All right. So let's see. Well, Jody's doing English paper piecing this morning. Look at you. I really want to get started on that gnome paper piecing that I showed you all. I need to just pull the fabric out in that. But again, I've got one quilt that I'm almost done, and that's the Ray Steves pattern that I bought with the Bally Pop. It's almost done. I've just got to put the last borders on it. That'll be done. I've got another one that I cut, which is this tapestry looking one. It's all cut. I've put it all on the design wall. Now I've got it all. So now I've just got to put the rows together and then finish it. And so it's laying here waiting for me. And then I did that jelly roll twist. I've got all the pieces and everything ready to sew it, which is I got from Back Quarter Shop. And so it's like I've got everything laying, and then I've got still got the gnome book laying there just in case, because I may want to do that later. So we'll see. I don't know. It's just crazy. Um, Jen says, I'm quilting a scrappy Christmas Irish chain on my idea. How awesome is that? I have not done the Irish chain. I bet that is going to be beautiful when you get it done. Bologna says she must do hand binding. Look at her. She says, yes, I'm hand binding and I'm propped up on the couch binding a quilt. How awesome. It's so amazing. Trina says, I finished the Missouri Star Forget Me Not quilt yesterday. Today we'll be cooking and starting the Christmas cleanup. Yes, I tell you what, it's just, it is that time of year, right? I mean, we are here. So how crazy is that? So, all right. Who else? Oh, Red Sky is doing Holly from GE Designs. I've looked at some of their designs. I have yet to really buy any, but I have looked at some of their designs and they do have some really cool designs. Because you know what, I absolutely need one more design because it's just crazy. I could buy embroidery files, I think, all day, and if I got bored buying embroidery files, I could absolutely switch over and buy quilt patterns because I have 4 file drawers now. I have a standing filing cabinet with 4 drawers in it, and all of them are loaded with quilt patterns. So I absolutely do not need another quilt pattern. All right, I'm trying to make this scrappy intentionally, and yet I am too anal retentive to do just true scrappy. So I've got to sit and look and decide which if um, if those colors go side by side together. I guess I will never do a true scrappy quilt. It's just not my nature. I have too much control. Um, I have that controlling personality, and I just can't help it. My poor partner this morning was watching me unpackage the turkey, and I was like, I just took a shower and all that. I probably shouldn't have done that before I um, came in to start the turkey and full with all of that. And he goes, well, or you could just move and let me do it. Yeah, see, it was very kind. It was very nice, and I did move and I did let him do it. But I am used to having a little bit more control. So that was a little different for me. But I'm learning, right? That's part of having a real partnership. So we will see. So who else? Oh, Janet says machine embroidery for me today. I'm hoping I have several things that I want to put in our 10 needle. So I'm hoping maybe today he'll get the 10 needle going for me because I've got some things that I do want to get stitched out. And I like to have it now that when you show up to the house, you have to walk through the design studio and that to get in the house. So I thought it would really be nice if we had the 10 needle working today, and if we did the maybe he'll in maybe he'll actually long arm my Christmas quilt that's been hanging there for a couple of weeks. And I say that knowing that the poor guy is trying to get the floors done and all this other stuff done in the house for me too, because um, I make a long wish list. I always seem to have a lot of, oh, what if we do this, and how about if we do this, and um, again, fortunately, he has lots of patience to put up with me, which is just a good thing because that's the type of person he is. But it takes that personality probably to live with me. But I do tend to have a lot of squirrel moments and jump project to project. That's why I remember when I first started quilting, I always thought it was crazy. These women had all of these machines, so we won't talk about how many I have now. And the fact that they worked on more projects than one. Like, why would you not start and complete a project before you start at the next one? So, needless to say, right here, I have 5 projects within an arm's length that I need to work on. I have 5 more sitting in cases that are cut and ready to go. They're in those 12 by 12 art bin cases. Those are ready to go. So they just haven't made it to this side. And then I have my Stitches with Love Christmas quilt that I would really like to finish. But it needs to go on the single needle on my on Herbert to finish stitching out so I can do so I can put that together because that was all applique, which is all pre-cut, all ready to go, but it still requires someone to sit there and put it together and run back and forth with the machine. So I'm hoping to get a lot of that kind of stuff done this week, especially since I am off tomorrow and don't go back to work until Monday. Sadly, my partner has a job where he's not off, so he has to go back to work tomorrow, which sucks, but it is what it is. It's pay our bills that way. Um, but so with him not here, gives me tomorrow to kind of get a lot of things done I want to get done, which wouldn't matter if he was here. I would still get to do what I want. That's the way he is. Sorry, I dropped one of my Juki feet. Maybe I should keep that somewhere else instead of right there. All right. Wow, I'm getting behind in the chat today. Sorry, guys. Uh, Jody says, I'm just cutting and gluing today, then work on a couple of small Christmas projects. Carl says he's prepping rock candy quilt top that's 60 by 60, 400 3-inch blocks, turning it into a quilted jacket. Oh, that sounds really exciting. I would love to see that when you get done. I actually have the rock candy pattern. That is a Stephanie Stitches pattern. I bought it a year ago and actually decided to do a Christmas with it. And it's sitting over on one of the shelves too. Um, the pattern sitting there with fabric. It's on the list, but needless to say, it didn't get done. But I really liked that rock candy pattern from Stephanie. So it resonated with me. And so I did buy it. I just didn't get to it. Um, so who knows? Maybe Christmas 2026. It's definitely not happening in 25. So, but I do like that pattern. And so if you haven't been over to Stephanie Stitches and taken a look at some of her patterns there, she's got several new ones. Of course, she's an ambassador now for Bernatec's, which is one of my favorites, right? I love a lot of their fabrics. So we've got a lot of that going on. Oh, this is turning out pretty cute, guys. But it's only turning out cute because I'm controlling the scrappiness, right, and how that goes together. But isn't that going to be a cute quilt? I mean, I have such a variety of Christmas fabrics. It's just crazy. All right, so that's 5, 6. And then I need to do 2 and 2. Okay. And I'm going to talk to myself all day because that's just who I am, right? All right, so let's do this one this way. And what else? Carl says he'll put pics up soon. I am anxious to see. Carl has been a busy man since he retired, and I bet now that the holidays are here, he's glad he's retired and not dealing with some of the craziness that he was accustomed to dealing with. I don't know. I will say, years ago when we had when we had our commercial embroidery business, we had a store in the mall. And I will say, I missed when we closed that store and ended up going out of business and not being able to do things, because it was kind of exciting to be in the mall and be with so much happening and going on and seeing folks. And so when that went away, it was just wasn't quite the same. Hey, Candace, welcome in. Thanks for being here this morning. Oh, she says rock candy is a fun pattern. She's made it before. Yes, I need to work on that. Like I said, it's one of the ones that really resonated with me, and yet I didn't get it. Just never got it to the machine. That's the good thing about these quilt patterns, though, right? At least they don't expire. Candace says she likes my shirt. Yes, I have to be very festive, right? And starting, oh my gosh, guys, Monday is December 1st. So we will be doing um, Christmas. And yes, I have at least 31 Christmas shirts. So you don't have to worry about seeing me repeat the Christmas shirt during December. Trina says she's working on EPP for her son-in-laws for next Christmas. I'll have to make 6, so it's going to be a long. Yes, it is going to be a long process. Wow, that's crazy. Julie says I'm doing batter up from Cluck Cluck. So I like some of their patterns. I got those, I think, the year that I subscribed to Ginger's quilt box, and I had purchased her quilt box for Christmas. It didn't resonate with me. I did not end up subscribing, getting it again. This wasn't one um, that I liked. She did some cool things in it, but one of the things she did have in it was Cluck Cluck Sew patterns, and so I got a couple of patterns that way. And then I think I actually went online and bought a couple of more patterns. So they do have some really cute patterns. I forgot all about those. That's a thing. You if you don't come home almost and do that pattern immediately when you buy it, you forget that you bought it, or at least I do. And so that would be a cool pattern to get back out. Hey, Katie, the Greenland quilter, she joins the holiday quilting bee. Look at you, girl. I hope you are having an amazing Thursday, maybe Friday morning there. No, it would be Thursday night there, I think. Um, and I'm sure they're not celebrating. So it'd be interesting. Are you celebrating Thanksgiving today? I know, obviously, you would not be celebrating it based on that country, but in an American, do you still look and celebrate Thanksgiving there? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, Katie says, I'm going to have to lasso you and rustle you into coming my way for some sewing, John. Yeah, it's been crazy because, fortunately, you seem to have bounced back and have things going. My gosh, your channel's almost hit 10,000 subscribers. You have just been going gangbusters. And, but yes, we need to. figure out a time for us to get back together and spend some time together. What else? Inappropriate Quilters here. Hey, good morning. Thank you for being here today. Zaza's in the house. Zaza Lita is here. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Our Quilter from Georgia says, hello, John and all. Happy Thanksgiving to all who is celebrating. Just dropping in for a minute to give a thumbs up. Thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate any time that you are willing to give up your holiday to be with us for just a little bit. Becky says, I unpacked my daughter and son-in-law's t-shirt quilt blocks. I have been working on it since 2019. Something always gets in the way of working on it, hoping to be finished for their anniversary in January. How cool would that be? I have not done a t-shirt quilt, and I have no desire to do a t-shirt quilt, to be honest. My daughter did ask me about it. I told her, send me the t-shirts. We would take a look, and we'd get something figured out. And then she never sent them, and so I never brought it back up. So we'll see. They were all her husband's shirts that she wanted. So we'll see what she ends up doing. Katie says, no, she's not celebrating today because Nico is not there. He must be out on the boat. And so since he's not there, she is by herself. And that's why she has time to be on with us today. So that makes it all the better. All right, let me get ready. So guys, let me put together, I haven't even opened up Nightbot yet. I have 5 fat quarters is our first giveaway. I think these are the last of these fat quarters that I bought. I bought like a case of them last year to do some other things. But these are all Christmas fat quarters. They're a nice fat quarter bundle that I ended up getting. I'm trying to thank Nightbot. Get to Nightbot. And so, anyway, so these are, we'll start the giveaways this morning with these fat quarters. If you, give me a second to get them set up. So this one has the evergreen trees, which I think are really pretty. These are called 3 Wishes fabric is where they come from, but the hollies, the plaid. This one says over the river and through the woods, which I think is really cute. And then it's got the Christmas lights. So overall, as a collection, is how they came. I think are really, it is a cute collection. If you want to go out and in the chat put exclamation point FAT, F-A-T, that will get you registered to win. If you're overseas and you win, we will send you an Amazon gift card. If you're in the continental US, we will send you the actual gift. But I'll just be honest, I'm just not up and willing to deal with international shipping. I appreciate all of you that tune in and come from overseas. That means a lot, and I appreciate you being here. But I'll be honest, I just don't have the time or resources to figure out international shipping. It's just kind of crazy. All right, so exclamation point FAT will get you registered for that first giveaway this morning. We have 6 giveaways today. By the way, I am not sponsored. I do not endorse or necessarily talk about anyone in particular. This all comes from me. This is my thing. I do have some affiliates now. I am an affiliate on the Fat Quarter Shop. I am an affiliate with Juki Junkie, obviously, because I'm a Juki nut. And then for AccuQuilt. But none of them have provided any type of sponsorship. Gifts and that I put together are completely on me and up to me. And that is the way I like it, because that way I can say and do what I want. So exclamation point FAT gets you registered for the first giveaway this morning. See if we can make this work. Stuff everywhere. Problem is I just don't have enough desk space, right? We always need more desk space. All right, so let's do the first giveaway. So let's see who Nightbot chooses this morning. Miss Katrina. So congratulations, you won the giveaway, Miss Katrina. So thanks for doing so. If you will send me um, your address. I will get those out hopefully by Saturday this week. Um, not looking to delay it a long time, especially since I'll be off the next couple of days. So I will try to get those out and into the mail for you. If you would go down and um, send me an email at john at guyscraft2.com. I will get those out to you. In the subject, just put fat quarters, and I'll know that that's what you want. And my email is also scrolling across the bottom. So congrats. And let's see, K Money is here. K Money Quilting. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Ingrid is here. Hey, there's my buddy Ingrid. Thank you for joining. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your Thanksgiving with me this morning. All right, so let me finish pressing this out. And you know, if I get 6 more pieces put on here, I will actually have the first block done. I actually worried that this was going to go together so quick that is that enough to cover the full 3 hours? And since I am, 40 minutes into, no, almost 45 minutes in and haven't got the first block done, I have a feeling that with my chatting, this isn't going to go as fast as I thought it would. But that's okay. The whole point is for us to be together, for us to share, and for us to chat. I only had one black, really Christmas fabric that I pulled to use, but I really kind of liked the idea of having the black. So I grabbed that when I was putting this together. Let's do this one, then this one. No, let's do that. So there's one. And then let's do this one, this one, and this one. Yeah, it would probably have been so much better if I just threw all of these in a bag and mixed them up and said, okay, but I would lose all control that way. I can't imagine it. I mean, I guess people do like real scrappy quilts where they just, but that would just be crazy for me. So we shall see. And tell me that, like, right, one of the best things about Thanksgiving in this holiday is later this morning, I'll be able to smell all the scents of Thanksgiving, right? So you'll be able to smell the turkey in a few hours. You'll be able to smell um, the turkey. You'll be able to smell the all the side dish. You know, it's just when you start smelling the pies and all that cooking, there's just nothing like the scents that come with this holiday. We don't do as much for Christmas. I cook for Christmas, but we tend to typically do a ham, and we do it more as a picnic style. And it's just something that we started when the kids were young that we didn't want to have necessarily a big meal like Thanksgiving because we wanted to be able to have the time to play with our kids. And so that's what we did. Come on. And so I am not used to having a big meal necessarily on Christmas. Still do some special things. Usually have a ham and some of that kind of stuff. My niece does, I think she does a standing rib roast. Is what they do. Was his tradition, where in his family, which is fine. I don't know why beef has never been. I've never been a big fan of beef for the holidays necessarily. So it's always been pork or turkey for some reason. Right. Oh, Sherry's here. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. She says, love your shirt. Thank you so much. Katrina says, scrappier is easy if you put it all in a pile and just pick one up. See, that's the thing. I think that's what I need to try to do that sometime. It's not going to happen today, but I probably need to try to do a real scrappy at some point. Ingrid says my nephew woke me up at 5:40 this morning, wanting to start decorating for Christmas. He loves the lights. Oh, how cool is that? Katie says she does ribeye roast for Christmas. How cool is that? It is funny to listen to all the different traditions and what people do. I mean, especially like living here now because this is such a melting pot of folks that have grew up in California or grew up in Minnesota or Idaho or Washington. It's just so eclectic where folks have come from and the dishes and things that they bring. Interesting enough, right? Because I get in the debates all the time about turkey and dressing or turkey and stuffing. Um, I grew up, we never stuffed anything in the turkey. And at the same time, mom always got a dressing. So that's all I ever knew. And it always confused me when people go, no, 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 it's still stuffing. And I'm like, well, it can't be stuffing if you didn't stuff it inside the turkey. It's not stuffing. And so in my mind, that's how that works. But it is what it is. And everybody is open and entitled to their opinion. I don't remember which way. Okay, we're going to do it this way. All right. So Ingrid's got holiday decorations in her future today. I did get started with a little bit of Christmas, but not a lot yet. We have permanent outdoor lights. So for us, all I need to do is open the app and turn them on and decide which Christmas display we want to use. Interesting enough, our neighbor next door put his lights on the other day, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then he couldn't wait to turn them on, and I was like, yeah, I like doing it the day after Thanksgiving. So even though I have permanent lights, I could have had my lights on for the last whatever. We had them on for Halloween. I still I think sometimes we kind of rush Christmas, and I love Christmas and um, can't wait for it to get here. But I also want to enjoy the other holidays too, right? So there are some things around it. So we have started putting up some Christmas stuff, but not much. But definitely Saturday, I want to get my inflatables out. I want those up, and then I have some stuff around the house that needs to go out, and then need to start putting out the Christmas trees. You probably need to look at getting out some of the cookie jars. So I have about 28 cookie jars. And I enjoy having my cookie jars out. I did not get to have them out last year, just kind of disappointing. So I have room this year to get those out, and we will start with those. All right, so I actually have the first Christmas potato chip quilt block completed. All right, so let's take a look and see what this looks like. So, see, this is scrappy to me, and I had to be very organized about it, right? Look how cute that is, though. I really like these different fabrics in that in all colors. So that is going to be definitely wild when that comes together. So I have one block now, so I only have at least 19 more to do. Is that right? Yeah, at least 19 more. I probably would like more than that, so we'll see. Let's lay that over there. And let's figure out how we get this started now. The nice thing is, because I cut this in the AccuQuilt and it's layered, I can tell real quickly the ones I've used because it, uh, the pretty side is down. So I know, oh, I've already used that one time. Let's keep trying to introduce some different ones. And I didn't have a lot of blue fabrics either. I thought was interesting. Oh, where'd my chat go? Come on, guys. Okay. Looks like I might have to do chat. I hate this. Oh, there it is. All right, let's see. Candace says, I make sausage, cheese balls, and pigs in the blanket for Christmas morning, late lunch with all the fixings for family. That's cool. I actually just saw the recipe the other day, and I've seen it a couple of ways, but where you take a pound of sausage, you take a box of the Red Lobster cheddar biscuit mix and dump that in with, I think it's 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and then just hand combine all of that, and then that makes your sausage balls. I know I've made that recipe before, and then I found it online again, and somebody says, no, you got to add a quarter cup of milk in that. So I thought, well, I did print that out because we are doing like finger foods, hors d'oeuvres, and that is the plan along with our at the quilting retreat. So we're already doing the decadent dessert, and already have that planned and put together. But I thought, you're going to want something to kind of break that up. So I thought, well, those would be good. So I do want to do some finger foods, figure out what that looks like. So I thought those sausage balls would be good because I'll be honest, when I eat a lot of sweet, I like something to help kind of break up the sweet. And so I thought that would be a way of doing it. I'm not necessarily a huge sausage eater normally, but I do like, I thought with all the sweet and sugar, that would be definitely something to help break up all that sweetness. I guess it doesn't matter. Trina says, we always had a full house on Christmas Eve, cooked all day, Italian beef, turkey, and ham. Lots of veggies, salads to go with it. I cooked enough so I wouldn't have to cook until New Year's Eve. That sounds definitely like a plan. Katie says they do duck for New Year's Eve. I've never had duck or lamb. That sounds good though. I've never had. I have had lamb, but I've never had duck. Janet says in Iowa we have a lot of beef since we raise certified Angus beef, beef brisket, and prime ribs for the holidays, plus the normal turkeys, ducks, and hams. Goodness gracious! I tell you what, some of these people know how to eat, right? Candace says, I love those biscuits. Sam's has the mix. Oh, I'll have to look. I just actually got a Sam's order this week. So I had Sam's delivered, I think, yesterday. And then I had my Walmart order come the day before. Because I'm just too lazy to go to the grocery anymore. My time's too valuable to just go spend time at the grocery. So I and I love, and the problem is it actually saves me money because I am very much an impulse buyer. So you get me into Sam's or Costco, I end up spending way more money than I needed to because I find everything that I just have to have and I can't live without. And so because of that, it's actually cheaper if I just have them deliver it and I don't go. So, but I do miss going up and down the aisles. I do miss the shopping experience sometimes, but I absolutely don't miss the crowd. I can tell you that. Um, Not big on fighting the crowds and fighting folks to find things. Do that one. Do this one. Yeah. All right. It's funny because so many of these um, Christmas fabrics have characters. So, and when you're doing something as small as this, it's hard to get any of the character on here. This one actually has, um, didn't do so bad. This one has like a shell pattern. Of course, no telling what direction that's going to end up in. See, that's going to drive me nuts. So, see, that to me is scrappy. Oh. Sherry says that Janet, I'm an original Iowa girl too. Jen says, when I got married, my in-laws did the Feast of Seven Fishes on Christmas, and I was assigned squid. Oh my gosh. I don't know that I've ever had squid. I do like seafood. My partner doesn't so much. He'll eat a few seafood things, but he's not as much into fish and that. I do really enjoy it. Um, I used to, I was raised Catholic, right? So, I mean, I grew up every Friday we had to have fish. And I mean, during Lent, every Catholic church in town, because I lived growing up in Louisville, that was the archdiocese. And so all the Catholic churches had fish fries on Friday night. So we used to frequent some of the different fish fries and that. And so I just grew up always eating fish on Friday. And so not so much anymore. I've definitely gotten away from that, but I still enjoy having fish on Friday, though. I miss it, but I still, I'll eat the baked fish and the broiled and some of those, but it still it doesn't replace the old fried fish. And the problem is now that I've matured, my stomach doesn't necessarily enjoy grease like it used to. So it really has got to be a good fried fish. It's not very greasy, oily. And that's not always easy to find. Um, and I don't think any of the Catholic churches out here do a fish fry. I know there's several. The golf course here does a fish fry on um, Friday, and there is a couple of restaurants that actually do an all-you-can-eat fish on Friday. But again, we don't eat out a lot because it's just gotten so expensive. Well, I actually got the first full block done without Jake giving me fits this morning. He got a new needle the other day and that, so he should be good to stitch, but I never know what personality he's going to bring. He actually got oiled this morning. Got treated pretty nice. And I know this bobbin's half full. Yeah, got plenty of bobbin. So he just doesn't like if I cut threads and move it too quick out from under him. That just throws him off for some reason. I think all machines have their own personality, don't they? All right, let's do another giveaway. I have the last 12 pack of the 12 quilts of Christmas. I know I've given these away before. I think this is such an amazing buy. I think I bought like 8 or 10 of these, so I've given that many away. This is the last one I have, but with holidays coming, just made sense to me to give this last one away. So let me go in here and update the giveaway. So what are we going to call it this time? Come on. Oh, all right, there it is. You know what? Let's just do a number. Let's just do exclamation point 12. Exclamation point 12. And that will get you entered into the 12 quilts of Christmas. And it's interesting, these are 2024. So I don't know how well Villa Rosa did with doing this combination, but um, I thought it was a really good idea, good buy. So I did grab several of them. I did do the wreath in there. Of course, Russ did the poinsettia table runner. I wanted to do the mittens, which I have not done yet, which is another table runner. Um, So we'll see. And I actually bought it because I really wanted to do one of the gnomes, right? Look how adorable these gnomes are. So I definitely wanted to do that. So again, these I can actually probably mail overseas because I can put those in a normal envelope or almost like a letter. So that works. We'll see how that comes out this morning. Good. I lost the other clips that I really like. I need to find my other snips because I don't like these snips as well. But let's see. All right, let's see if we can get Jake threaded and ready to go. So we've been watching the Harry Potter Baking Championship. So I, I guess it's on Food Network, but then HBO shows it the next day, so we never catch it live. Didn't realize we're in the middle of season 2, and now we're actually caught up. I think until Sunday when the next episode comes in. So they're actually down to the semifinalists, and they brought back the winners last night from season 1. And so they are now competing. And then, interesting enough, one of the contestants for season 2 is kind of besties with the season 1 winner. So it's interesting to see them competing against each other. All right, so let's go in and pick a winner, guys. Jackie, DVD stitch art. So congrats, Miss Jackie. And if you will send me your address, I will get those in the mail for you in the next couple of days and get that out. So congrats. And again, thank you for being on the channel with us, and thank you for being a subscriber. That is always appreciated. Sherry, I do not know. I have no idea what the name of that pattern is. I bought it from a craft show a couple of years ago, about 4 years ago, before I even got into this. So I have no idea. I don't even know the lady that I bought it from because I did buy it at just a regular craft show. And as such, I don't I don't even have her contact to say, "Hey, I'm quilting now. How did you do that?" So I really have no idea. I am so sorry. I do like it. That is that is the quilt that started the madness. So I would agree with you. I paid $350 for that quilt and thought the woman had lost her mind. And then I realized, well, but you did pay it. So yes, what's that say about you? So, but I do love it. And I, believe it or not, when I started getting the quilts out to hang up in here, I realized, well, I think I have 10 or 12 Halloween quilts. I did not have that many Christmas quilts. And so my supply of Christmas quilts in that was pretty limited. So that's one of the things I need to work on. So this behind me, this one is really that more what I consider that mid-century. It's definitely the vintage Santa Claus with the puppies and all that. That's actually a Villa Rosa design, and that actually is I bought as a kit. And I have not been over to Villa Rosa to look around today. I don't know if they're doing anything special for Black Friday and that. Of course, she's retiring. She's moved part of her business over to another shop in that. But they did have Villa Rosa kits the other day on sale, and they had some amazing buys. And then I thought, okay, you got to quit looking. You absolutely do not need any more kits because I can tell you, sitting right here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13. There's at least 14 Halloween quilts kits that I can see just sitting here. So the one thing I absolutely cannot buy is a Halloween kit. I can buy them, I just shouldn't buy them. How's that? That probably sounds better, doesn't it? I just didn't realize how much I was into Halloween. I knew I liked Halloween, but then when I started looking for Christmas quilts, I was like, oh my gosh, guy, like you have got to figure out something for the other than Halloween. So I don't know. And so it's interesting. The Valley Pop that I'm working on is such a spring summery. I'd never done. I had not stitched batiks, so it was fun kind of doing that and putting that together. So that one is turning out really cool. It'll be interesting to see how that finishes. I'm really excited because I have like the modern vintage take on Rudolph, and that's what's hanging on the long arm. So I'm really hoping maybe today he'll get that working on the long arm because I would really like to get that one done. And if he gets it done, maybe I can show it off on Sunday because I'll be home to trim it and maybe get the binding done. Not like balloonist and sitting on the couch, just having my coffee, relaxing, doing it by hand. I have never done hand binding. I spent way too much money on machines, but I do actually wish I had the patience and someone to show me how to do it. Because that is, I will say, the thing that I like least about quilting is the binding. It's just something that just has always been a little bit above me. I'm getting better at it. I'm trying to use a lot more patience when I do binding, but it's still not. I'm still not a fan. It's still not. I do it because you have to do it, right? Not for any other reason. We'll see. So I know Mr. Russ went to see Wicket. Um, has anyone else gone to the movies? I actually looked. Kind of tradition for me for the last 10 years at least has always been to go see a movie on Thanksgiving. Usually go Thanksgiving night to the movies and that. And I'm always surprised at how many people are at the movies. Um, but I'll be honest, I looked to see if there was anything that I would want to go see, and I'll be honest, there just wasn't anything. I am not. I liked Wicket well enough. I'm not a huge Wicket fan like Russ and that, but I would like to see it. I will wait for it to come back out on Peacock for free, probably before I get to see it. Um, but I I just didn't see anything that was at the movies that I wanted to go see. So we have been watching Jumanji, and so my partner likes that. It's fun to watch with him because he likes that slapstick comedy. So it's nice to see him laugh and really enjoy himself. And so we will probably watch number three tonight because I have seen I've seen the original with Robin Williams. We just watched this what I would call the second or the revised, right, with The Rock the other night, and so now we're ready to watch the next one. And then somebody at work told me that they're actually bringing out yet another one behind me. So I don't know if that's true or not, but we ended up paying for the two because nobody had Jumanji for free, at least that we subscribed to. And so Amazon had a deal that if you bought both, it was cheaper. So we ended up buying both of them. So I own two of the three now. I will have to say, that's one of the things that I enjoyed doing on Black Friday is, man, you could go to Walmart, Target, and different ones. They had movies like $2, $5. I mean, you could get some amazing DVDs for next to cheap. And of course, I don't want DVDs now. I think I have a DVD player, but I don't want to have to figure out how to hook it up, how to use it. I mean, it's just like, who wants to do that? And so we shall see. But it's that will probably be the show that we will watch tonight. So we will watch Jumanji and get that one done. And then it'll probably stay Hallmark Christmas movies until December 26th because, yeah, no, you just can't get enough Hallmark Christmas this time of year. Everybody needs a little Hallmark Christmas in their life, right? Oh, Balloona said, I just found my first quilt by machine. Don't like it. Oh, interesting. Catherine says, I thought Ian was the king of Halloween, but that many kits is amazing. It's crazy. Yes. And I think maybe that's why I always Ian was one of actually the first channels that I ever watched. And he was one of the first guys that I discovered. And it was fun because a while back, I actually got to be on with Ian on Katie's channel. So Katie had us both on a couple of months ago, and that was a lot of fun. So it was good to meet Ian. I love his sense of humor. I love to see him get tickled with himself because then he has a hard time recovering a lot of times, and that just makes it all even better, right? And I like Becca. Becca is a so knowledgeable and has such an amazing channel, and I so wish we could have worked it in, but financially in that it's just not going to work this year or next year to go on the cruise with Ian, Becca, and Tiffany. I mean, can you imagine a more amazing time? So hopefully they'll do others and that they did well on this one. I haven't heard them talk about it for a while, so I'm not sure if they still have reservations, if they sold out what they anticipated, or if they got the level of participation they wanted. Um, Unfortunately, it's just financially, it's tough right now for a lot of folks, and not any exception for us. I mean, and we're realizing that with the quilting retreats and that, and with some of the registrations, it's just folks don't have the discretionary money. And so they're having to be careful about the choices they make and how they make those choices and what that looks like. So I don't know. I think it's all going to be cool. That we have close to, we've all but sold out two of the spots at our first retreat. So we are anxious to get that done, get that under our belt, and see how that goes. I got to work on menus. I'm hoping this weekend, Mama Jan is going to be part of the retreat. She's going to come help support us through that. And so it'll be amazing because I know she's done so much. And it'll be nice to have her wisdom and that as we try to bluff our way through what's happening and what's going on. So I appreciate her in a lot of different ways. So it'll be fun. She's coming today for Thanksgiving. We'll see how that plays out. All right. Look at this. I'm going to have a second one done. See, it's going together faster. Takes me a while. And I can hear the purist going, okay, that's supposed to be a scrap quilt. You're not supposed to be matching those up the way you are. But that's who I am, right? It's all about our personality. That's what's cool about the craft itself is we all figure out how to make these things resonate with us. And this is how I'm making this work for me. So I have not looked. I need to go out and kind of shop around YouTube today. I don't know if others are planning to be live today, or if some that would normally be on Thursday are just taking holiday time. It'll be interesting to see how they post and what goes on. I do have a couple of videos that I need to make over the next few days while I am off. Get those going. And then we have all the unboxings starting Monday. You guys, I will just apologize up front, right? Because it is just going to be crazy. I actually have three um, boxes that I received. And so it will be interesting to see how those play out. All right, so I got the second one, and I want you to see, even as careful as I was, I ended up putting two of the same fabrics in the square. And again, that's fine. I can live with it. I think it's going to be pretty. It's just funny that I'm so particular and choosy and then still did something like that. So it is what it is. I think I'm going to go straight across this time and see how this works out. Um, oh, Inappropriate Quilter says they are doing another trip the following year. Well, that's cool. So, and I like the fact that they did West Coast, which would really work better for us. But yeah, the problem is by the time I do, like the vacation, like the beach trip with the grandkids and all that, it's just hard for us to do a whole nother almost like week, right? Janetta says you still have to sew it, but it makes, yeah, I am learning about glue basting. It is, that has helped me. I finally, after going through multiple pins and bottles and all of that, I actually found a glue stick that I really like. And that doesn't seem to clog and just seem to work really well for me. Oh, wait a minute, I think I'm doing this one wrong. I am this way. So we will. So I am tending to do a little bit more glue basting all of a sudden. I hear someone peeling potatoes. We have homemade mashed potatoes for dinner tonight. He's getting those ready, and they'll sit in salt water until we're ready to mash them. Appropriate Quilter says you almost get no paid vacation in the U.S. I tell you what, it's not. After working for European companies, I mean, it was just amazing the difference. And it's funny, the Europeans still kept their vacation schedule, but gave us the traditional U.S. Vacation schedule. And it's like, guys, I mean, you're all off the whole month of June or whatever. I will say I do miss that. Um, I did enjoy teaching, and I did enjoy having my snow days back in the day, and I did enjoy having my summers off. And even at the time, we still had, um, we were running the commercial embroidery business and that, but I still enjoyed having those summers off in that. And I tell you what, after teaching for a few years, teachers need that time off to recover and recoup because they go through a lot and they do a lot to put up with our children. And I appreciate those that have that passion in their life because I tell you, that's tough. All right, let's do this one with this one. I was trying to go straight across and it just didn't work for me. So now I'm back to piecing and matching my own self. Inappropriate Janetta, that does make it easier. I watched MX Domestics, Matthew tutorial on doing that. I have to watch more of his tutorials. I do watch his channel now. Um, he does crack me up sometimes. It's interesting when he gets on his soapbox. Um, but it doesn't offend me as much as it's interesting to see just the passion in that he comes out with some that he goes after some of those things and he's not necessarily wrong either. Um, Catherine says, I am amazed at the generosity and kindness of people sharing knowledge and confidence and encouragement. I think that's what really got me in the quilting world. I didn't really think I would stick to it as much as I have, and certainly didn't plan on opening an Etsy store and having a channel and then doing giveaways and all. But it became such a welcoming community, such a relief, um, building some real friendships and bonds, an opportunity to really give back in different ways, to share at all different levels that I just couldn't help but to just get kind of almost pulled in, right? It's just, I wouldn't trade anything for my YouTube family. And I mean, as we're getting close to 5,000, I mean, we're getting close to almost 4,800 and, climbing. And that, it's just, I can't imagine um, not having my channel now, not being able to communicate. Yeah, like it's just been too much. It's just been such an awesome experience. And it's folks like you all that make it that way. And that's why we do the giveaways and some of the stuff that we do, because we want to give back to you all that have helped support me, help grow this channel. It just makes me very thankful for what we have. Because I can tell you, at times it's just such a mean, nasty world anymore, and the times that we're able to just be together, laugh, and giggle, and share, it just makes it fun, right? Because Lord knows life is definitely too serious and too difficult anymore. And who wants to deal with all that? Come on. Hey, Kathy. She says, good morning from Central Illinois. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Inappropriate says, true scrappies hurt my brain, John. I can do coordinated scrappy at a push. See, that's me. I can't, I just got to have too much. I call it controlled scrappy. Amen. Thank you. That's what we're going to call what I'm doing today. Oh, Katie says she's going to be live as usual. Awesome. So we will definitely drop over, be there today. Inappropriate says, I hope the MS has your mug. It better have my mug in. And I tell you, I'm going to be so disappointed because that's, I will say it's the only reason, but it is the main reason I ended up going back to that box is it's been a nice box, but she does some, usually she puts a few hand items in and different. So she does like a nice variety, but those things don't mean anything to me. They don't resonate with me. I did like the project boards and a couple of things that she provided a few years ago. So those were kind of cool. I've got, those. We'll see after this year whether or not I go back and do yet another box. I just have no idea. But not going to worry about it, not going to push myself, but I definitely want my coffee mug to match the melamine plates that she gave us a couple of years ago. Which makes no sense, right? So no way that you should buy the entire box just to do that, but yet I did because because thanks to Joydy, I did do the soft squares Christmas box this year. I did do the 25 days. So I'm really, really anxious to open that up. And it's funny because as nice as you look at Missouri Star Quilt, and as nice as their box is, comes in a very, dedicated box itself with all matching, enveloped, boxed. coordinated. It's they've spent a lot of money just on the packaging, right, at Missouri Star, and of course they can do that when they're sending out 100,000 boxes or whatever it is. I think last year they said they sent out 58,000. I think that's just insane to me. But I was one of them. Um, so I have no idea how many this year, because I'm sure that number just continues to grow. But then I got soft squares that came in plain brown, not anything fancy box. And then you open it and it has all the different gifts, all wrapped differently, different paper, different, envelopes, different packages. And it was like, oh, that's just so much like my Christmas tree, right? So it's just, I don't know, it just really um, resonated that this is really that hand-picked box where Missouri Star almost comes across more commercial now, which it probably is, right? When you're doing that many and buying in that bulk, and obviously Lynn's not at the level that Missouri Star is, but yet it's that personal that just means so much in that. So I'm really anxious to get into her box. I have yet. I did do, someone recommended, and I think it might have been Joydy, make sure I went through and looked. And so I did and made sure I had all 25 packages and all that kind of stuff. So I did do that, but that's as far as I've gotten. Um, but I have not opened the first one, but I am really anxious to break in and see what that is going to be. So I will be doing those unboxings starting Monday, along with the Missouri Star box. And then I did buy the Keepsake Quilting box. I don't know that I'm going to do that. It's only 12 days of Advent. So I think I'm actually going to hold off because I already have the other two to do for 25 days. I think I'm going to do Keepsake Quilting starting on day 13 and run that one through up until Christmas. So I don't know when I'll start it for sure. I'll decide this weekend, but I'll either start it on the 1st and run it through the 12th, or start it on the 13th and run it up until Christmas. But I will tell you, as a content creator, it does get to be a lot of work posting those type of videos. So that's why I do not do Vlogmas. I know a lot of content creators do what they call Vlogmas, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Russ is doing it again this year. We talked about it, and now I don't remember what he told me. And I actually watched his video this morning, and the fact that he had no highlights in his hair always cracks me up. Never know what Russ is going to text me or tell me, but he's become a really good friend in my life, and it's always fun to see what he's got going on. See, this one looks more random to me. All right, I got just a few more to put together, so we can definitely do this one because it's not in here. Do this one because it's not in here. Wonder now. I'm starting to wonder, am I even going to have enough to do all the blocks that I want to do? So I have been watching. Now, Jackie says, I love glue basting. I'd seen it years ago, but got back to it after watching Ian's video. I tell you what, some of the tips and tricks between him and Becca, it's just amazing. Janetta says, put a little vinegar in the potato water and they won't turn pink or brown. Of course, you need to rinse before cooking. Yeah, I've never done vinegar. I usually just have them set in cold salt water and I've never had them turn colors on me. Catherine says, I love the Missouri Star box. The mugs are great. I forgot to order it this year. Oh, that's awful. I will tell you, if you really do want it, they were talking on the chat the other day because a couple of people said they had ordered 2 boxes, not realizing they had ordered one right after Christmas. And so there were several folks on there that were looking to sell their other box. So you still may be able to get one if you really wanted it. Balloon says, spoiler, the mug is in there. Someone online has already opened her box and I heard about it. Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy because that is really one of the main reasons I bought that silly box again. Like I said, we'll see at the end of day 25 if I decide to go back next year. I have really tried to cut back. I have so many small projects and all that. I mean, there for a while, I was doing a lot with a couple of different groups, and I have so many. I have a drawer full of just small projects that I just can't get to them fast enough, and it's like this just doesn't make sense for me to keep doing subscriptions and all that for some of this stuff when I just need to invest my money differently. So we'll see. But thank you. I am glad to know that the mug is in there. I am excited. Katrina says I need to get my son's Advent basket ready. That's what I just did. I didn't do it as a Advent basket, but that's why I do what's called pre-Christmas. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the one thing is like that doesn't necessarily spoil it because let me tell you, there are plenty of things. Her box is absolutely full, and it'll be interesting to see because you really wonder how much did Jenny really get to participate or have a say in this box, knowing that she's been overseas and doing missionary work and all that. I mean, um, and will you be able to tell that by the contents of the box this year? So I don't know. But I can't say anything. Missouri Star, works with different affiliates and ambassadors and that. And not too long ago, because of the channel, actually sent me the really nice scissor set, a really nice gift, and was very much appreciated. So I mean, you can't. They do make, obviously, she's made plenty of money with that business now, but they give back in a lot of different ways and not just through their church, but just through the quilting community. I know at one point they were working with smaller shops to help uh, teach them how to be successful and do those things. And it's, I know they have saved. That little town of Hamilton, Missouri. And I would like to go to one of their retreats sometime. I think it would be really cool to get out there and see what they do and just to kind of walk around there. I would definitely like to get to Paducah and do Paducah sometimes. I've been there, been to Paducah many times and been through there, but at the time wasn't quilting and had no idea what that was, what that looked like, what that meant. So I think that would be cool to get through there now. Um, now that I have a different interest and a different reason to be there. But I'll be honest, I'm just not necessarily looking to rush back to Kentucky. I still have, I guess, family that lives there, as far as I know. But I can't say that I left much in Kentucky that I definitely need to go back to. All right, so now we have one, two. I think I got the third panel done. Yes. All right, let me tell you, you have a supportive partner that while you're sewing, chatting, and having a relaxing Thanksgiving morning doing some things, that he's in there doing the turkey, putting the turkey on for you, running to the store. And then I just heard him dicing up the potatoes, which means he probably did my onions and celery for the dressing I'm going to make later. And now I heard the bedroom door close because he's in there mopping and cleaning the floors. So I think he's kind of a keeper. And so that's what it means to have the right support mechanism in your life, right? So it'll be fun. He's doing the quilting retreat with me. He is absolutely my second pair of hands. I don't want to be around or do anything without him. I am that spoiled. Um, but I think he's even looking forward to seeing how all of this ends up playing out and coming together for us. And so it'll be exciting. So if you're coming to the quilting retreat, you will get to meet my partner as well. I keep telling him at some point he needs to show up and show his face on air. Haven't convinced him of that yet. I'm not sure if I'll ever get him convinced of that, but we'll see. And But interesting enough, like I said last week, the local paper, the little paper here in the area, did an article or is doing an article on us. The uh, reporter followed back up, asked if he could get a picture in that. So I sent that in. So our picture will be in the article when it comes out. So that will be interesting. So I will hopefully be able to post a link out to that article and that when it comes out. If you're part of our Facebook page, it'll definitely be on the Facebook page. I do try to post on the on our YouTube page as well, because you're able to post on the YouTube page. So I typically try to post both on the YouTube page and Facebook, because I do know there are folks that just don't do Facebook. They don't like it. And I get it. And guys, I'll be honest, I don't do a lot on Facebook. I belong to a lot of different groups, but usually it's more about just trying to keep up with things because that's where people post their calendars and that. It's not so much, I'm just not into the gossipy side of Facebook, right? And um, I'm not even good about doing birthdays. It's funny, I'll realize um, a week later that someone had a birthday, and no, I didn't post happy birthday or anything to them. And I just, again, I'm just not on Facebook a lot to do that kind of stuff. So it's kind of crazy to me. But I am trying to do a little bit better, but I am posting a lot more there. All right. Oh, it's 8:38. Did we do a drawing? I think, did I miss a drawing? Oh, that would have been 7:30. Yeah, I missed a drawing, guys. Y'all let me off the hook easy. So let's see, what do we have for the next one? Oh, I did try to pull out some Christmas stuff. I did try to get some variety. Going through my stash, going through the stuff sitting on the shelf, and I need to pull this fabric. So let's grab what is the next one. And the next one is actually a June Taylor Quilt As You Go. And it is the Quilt As You Go Casserole Caddy, sew by number pattern printed on the batting. Um, on the batting. Fabric's not included. It does tell you need a 1/4 yard each of 6 different fabrics, or you can use pre-cut, actually 5-inch pre-cut squares in that. And then strapping and binding that in here. So this says that when completed, it wraps around a 9 by 13-inch pan. So that is our next giveaway item. And let me jump over and put something in Nightbot, because y'all got to know how to enter. And again, if you're overseas, we will end up sending you a Amazon gift card, because we still want you to absolutely feel like you can participate. I just can't do international shipping, guys. It just, that much is beyond me. All right, so let's do exclamation point June, June, exclamation point June will get you the casserole caddy entry. I've done a couple of things with June Taylor. I do kind of like it, and then other times it gets frustrating. I tried to do a tote with her not too long ago, and it seemed more complicated than I thought it needed to be. And yet, I've done some other things with her, and it just goes together so quick. So I think sometimes it's just the mindset that you're in when you start. And I have a tendency to make everything unique in my own. So that also means different. Catherine says, I think the reason I forgot to order the box this year is that they get overwhelming by the end of the month. I agree with you. And that's why I absolutely did not plan to do 3 boxes this year. Um, I had planned to do just one. I ended up doing Missouri Star. I decided not to go back to some of the other ones that I have done in the past. And then Keepsake Quilting had a vintage box this year. I'd already sworn off that I was not doing Keepsake Quilting again. I liked their box the first year, not as much the second year. But then when they came out with the vintage box, I tend to be a sucker for vintage. So I ended up grabbing that box. And then Joydy talked me into soft squares. And after I started watching Lynn and following her channel, I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta have that box. So I did only buy the one. She does 2 boxes. She does 12 days or the full 25 days. And you can actually buy both of her boxes because neither are repeated. And I did see the other day that she still had boxes available on her site. So now I don't know if she still does as of today, but I know last week or so she did have boxes still available. So I am really anxious to break into her stuff because I have no idea what that's going to look like. All right, and I'm rattling here, cutting threads, and I need to go over and see who the winner is. So let's see who Nightbot picks for the June Taylor giveaway. And the winner is Janie Guiro is the winner. Congrats, Miss Janie. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of our Thanksgiving celebration. And if you would send me an email to John, John, Lord, not sure where that came from, at Guys Craft 2 with your address, and we will get that in the mail to you in the next couple of days. But thank you for being here. Hopefully you're a subscriber, and I appreciate you sharing part of your Thanksgiving with us. All right. Close that out. All right, who else? Hey, Prixie, thanks for being here. Welcome in. Crafter's Log here. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry if I missed you all, guys. I'm trying really hard not to. Tracy's here. Hi, everyone. Becky says, I love your shirt. Thank you so much. Oh, Becky says, I love that casserole cover. Awesome. Oh, first time here. Look, Janie, first time here, and you won a prize. How awesome is that? See, it was well worth dropping in today. Janetta says my phone and Fire Stick have started. Wish I was more tech knowledge. I tell you what, that's why, girlfriend. I tell you, I will not claim to be the most tech savvy. I still have the new cameras and all that sitting in the box on the shelf that have literally sit there now for 2 months. I am hoping this weekend that we will be able to get the lights mounted in the design studio, and that I will finally be able to get the new cameras hooked up, and that we will be able to switch the software that I use to broadcast over, because the one that I've been using that I'm comfortable with has just gotten pricey and ridiculous. Plus, they won't allow me to have a second camera. So to do that, if I want to have a second camera, I have to figure out a way to fake it and do, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. Or they want me to pay $800 a year. And it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that either. So, because we'll have a second camera here. The nice thing is, once we get things set up, I'll have a camera over here at the cutting table. So I can get up and go cut if I want to. We'll have one over here at the ironing station. So if I want to get up and go do real ironing in that, I can. And we'll also have one over at the long arm. You all can watch the long arm go. So what I do owe, if you've been a subscriber, follower of the channel, you know that I owe you a tour of the new design studio. So I have not forgotten. That is still on the list to get done. And again, guys, I just apologize, right? I still work full time. And so believe me, between trying to have any type of social life um, and anything else and still manage and get it all done, y'all be surprised how much I get done in a day. But it does some days get to be a lot because I do tend to stay really, really busy. I like to stay busy. I like to stay engaged, but at the same time, I gotta sometimes just step back a little bit and go, okay, I gotta cut myself a little break here and figure out how to um, make that happen. Guys, we're coming up on 9 o'clock. I cannot believe that we have been together 2 hours. Missing some of our regulars this morning. I hope they are out having and getting ready for an amazing Thanksgiving, or that they're spending time with their family and others. Because I will tell you, we do become very accustomed to getting to see the same familiar names pop up on here. And that makes it so, so great to be together. Oh, Brian says, sorry, I can't join today. I did want to pop in and wish Quilty friends a happy Thanksgiving. See you all Sunday. Thanks so much, Brian. Hopefully I caught you before you had to drop back off, but thanks for being here. And what's funny is you're one of the people I was just thinking about. Brian's always on, so I am happy that he is doing something for himself for Thanksgiving, but always miss having him on with us. Sweet Granny is here. Hey, Sweet Granny, thanks for being here today. She's making chili. I need to make chili. It's interesting. I've been watching the Southern Cook or whatever on Facebook. He comes up on my YouTube feed all the time. He's one of them that says y'all all the time. Guys, I grew up in the South too, and we don't say y'all every other word, but I know some folks do, I guess. And I do say y'all, but not like I used to, I guess. But anyways, I ended up buying his cookbook and that and liked some of his recipes. He did a lot of things for Crocktober. And so every day he had a new crock pot recipe. Some of those I liked. He uses a lot of cream of chicken. And so it was like, okay, after you made like 3 of those recipes, it's like, okay, well, I'm done with cream of chicken for a while. Um, but he had a chili recipe that really sounded good. And I was so disappointed when I made it. And it wasn't the recipe. The chili was probably fine. But when you make something and you know what it's going to taste like, and then you taste it and it's like, yeah, that tastes nothing like I thought it would. That's because I'm used to my chili. I'm used to making my chili. And his chili was not a good substitution for my chili. And so now I'm still hankering for chili. Like, well, now I was all ready to have chili. Yet I haven't had chili. And my partner's a pretty good soup eater. He told me he's usually not a big chili eater because it just doesn't necessarily fill him up. But then when I make chili, he's like, oh, well, you make it, it is more like a meal with my chili. And because he's made corn chowder for us a few weeks ago. In fact, I have some of that in the freezer. And then he just made tortellini soup. So we've had several soups over the last couple of weeks. But I still need to make chili. I still enjoy my chili. I just hate that it makes so much for us because there's only the two of us. And I'm not a leftover person, although I'll eat leftover chili, but it's like, okay, but I only want it like once. I don't want it for 3 days. And I'm used to making it by the barrel. So it's not like it just goes away really quick and easy. All right. So getting close. So not quite as much as I thought I would probably get done. It's not going together as fast as I thought it would, but I do like how it's turning out. And look, how cute is this, right? The little penguins. I love little penguins. So I got that. We're going to use that one. Yeah, just use that one. No, I didn't. So I'm going to put that one there. And we can do this one. See, I have a very strategic, planned, um, extemporaneous uh, scrappy quilt. Only way I know to do it, I guess it's just the way our minds work, right? So mine is very, much more structured than I thought it would ever be. Oh, Tracy says she just joined the live. What are we working on? I am working on the potato chip quilt. And so I really meant this to be a scrappy quilt. If you've never done a potato chip quilt, they're fun. They're meant to be scrappy. I just can't. My mind doesn't function around scrappy. Stacy Lee actually did a really nice job and put this instruction sheet together. It is Stacy, and it's STACE dash Lee LEE.com. You can go out to her website. She's got the free pattern for you. She's got a link to her video where she teaches how to do it. I don't think anyone necessarily claims ownership of the potato chip quilt. There's a lot of folks out there that do them. Stacy was just kind enough to actually put a real pattern kind of together. And so I've been plugging her for that. But wanted to do something free, easy today because we tend to do a lot of Villa Rosa or some of the other things, and I thought it would just be fun to do something that was a little bit simpler because guys, we've got the next holiday quilting bee is going to be Christmas. How crazy is that you're already at Christmas? It's like, wow, where is the year going? The year is flying. And I just, I don't know. It's just, they keep saying, when you get older, the time just really flies. And I'm like, okay, see, I don't know that I can afford for it to fly much faster. It's like my bills come due much quicker than they used to, and the paycheck sure certainly doesn't go as far as it used to. There's just so much, and I think it's funny because work has just been off the hook for me lately, and so many folks are worried about AI taking their jobs and just all the stuff that's going on in the economy. Yeah, and it's like, oh my gosh, like my job has just been absolutely crazy. I am probably at least one team member short. Um, I need at least one more, if not two more, really to be effective in what I should do. But I'm not going to get the head count, and there's no use even whining about it. But it's just sad. It's just like I just cannot get over how crazy life has been this year. And to think that the year is almost over is just crazy. I mean, it feels like when we started talking about the quilting retreat and what we wanted to do, that was so far out. And yet here we are. It's interesting. My poor spare bed is just absolutely covered in quilting retreat stuff because that's the only way I know how to lay things out and get it planned and get it organized. And so you cannot even begin to see the quilt top on it. And it's a really cute Christmas um, bedspread. Um, oh well, such is life, right? Guys, if I'm missing something in the chat, it is absolutely non-intentional. I am trying my best. Jen says chili is freezer well. It does, and we did freeze the last chili, and we did eat it. In fact, I made one night instead of having tomato soup and grilled cheese, we had grilled cheese with chili. So my partner said he'd never heard of that. Well, but you put cheese in your chili, so why not just eat the grilled cheese, right? I like to mix things up. I like to make sure we don't get bored and it's not always expected. No, you all were shocked to know that I live and work on the edge a little bit. All right, so another quilt block done. Oh, Catherine says, thanks for going live today. No, thank you. I appreciate that you took the time to jump in and be with us today. I just feel like, I don't know, it's for me, we started this a year ago, and I think I started Veterans Day. So it's been over a year since we've been doing these on the holidays. And I don't know, you all feel that YouTube feels so much like a part of my family now and a part of who I am that I just can't, you want to be with family for the holidays. And I just feel like not having and not spending a few hours together just wouldn't be the same. And so that's the plan. The only holiday we don't do um, alive is New Year's Eve. And the reason for that is because Stitch in Heaven does one, and there's several out there that had already marked that spot and were doing lives on New Year's. And I thought, you know what? I've never wanted to get into a competition and make people choose, do they want to do this one, do that one, all of that. So we just backed away. And it's fine because we'll have our own New Year's retreat this year and that. So we will miss New Year's, but there are other alternatives out there. So, all right. So now I actually have enough to do a whole row. Look at that. Look at me go. All right. So, oh yeah. Okay. All right. So let's look at doing another giveaway. Oh, Tracy says she wants to see if there are, um, if Lynn still has spots left. Let me look real quick. I think it's softsquares.com. Yes. So it is. Let me see if I can get that in here for you. Never know if Nightbot is going to like me or not. But Lynn's website is softsquares.com. See if it'll let me. Yep, there it is. So softsquares.com is her website. And so she did, like I said last week, had boxes left. I don't know if she still does or not, but she did have 12 days and 25 days. Stephanie, Catherine says Stephanie Stitches did a beautiful. Oh, did she really? Okay, I missed that. She used Vegas strips. She cut them all 12.5 inches. Stephanie is so creative. She is such a sweetheart. We spent New Year's Eve together last year down at Stitch in Heaven. And she is just such a remarkable lady. And I can tell you, if you all have not met her in person, what you see is what you get. She's exactly the same in person as she is on her YouTube channel and on her YouTube lives. And just a blessed, sweet, genuine person. And that poor girl has been through it this year. I know she's done the cruise. She did the cruise with Russ. I think she went to Japan. She did, what else did she do? She's been out here. I had hoped to get to see her, but it didn't work out. when she traveled out here, but she's dealing with her, I think, stepdad. I had health issues and decided to move back to Ohio to be closer to her. I mean, so like, like that poor woman has just had it all stacked up on her. So, but she is a sweetheart and she does some really cute patterns. And in fact, she gave us last year, all our subscribers, she gave me the pattern that we used last year. It was a table runner wall hanging. Wall hanging. Um, she gave it to all my subscribers and was on Thanksgiving Day last year with me. Man, that's hard to believe that it's been a year now. But that was really sweet. And again, comes out of her pocket, right? Because those are patterns that she could have sold um, that she just gave away to folks that were on planning to be part of this holiday quilting bee. And so it was nice. She was on the channel with me for a little bit before she had to go get ready for her family and that. And of course, she's got her kids and all of that. So it was nice to have a little time with her and get to share a little bit. So, and again, she is just such a sweetheart. So Carl knows her very well, and Carl will tell you she is just genuine, and what you see is what you get. All right, so let's do one more giveaway. All right, let me go over and set it up over here. Um, all right, if you go into chat, I've got another June Taylor that I pulled. Again, I was trying to keep some things for Christmas. So this is a Quilt As You Go Stripes Stocking. So it is a striped stocking by June Taylor. I thought it would be fun for Christmas coming, right? So if you go in and do exclamation point boot, B-O-O-T. So we're going to call it a boot because I try to make them simple. So it's a striped stocking. So by number, it says, as always, select cut fabrics, attach your backing, and sew by number. Fabrics not included. Finishes out 10 by 18. And she gives you a lot of alternatives on how to do that. But if you'll put exclamation point boot in the chat, we will be giving this away. And I still have a couple of giveaways. So again, just try to mix it up a little bit as we were going through. Let's see if we can finish on the other side here. So it'll be interesting. So for some of my East Coast friends, by the time we finish, you all will be ready maybe to have your meal. Interesting. I saw, I don't know, it was one of the chefs or something. It was an opinion posted on Facebook about when is the appropriate time to have your Thanksgiving meal. And I guess it just depends on who you are, where you grew up, and where you what you're used to. I I grew up, mom always had it earlier in the day. I know some folks like an evening meal. I can't imagine eating all that food later in the day. So when I set the time for our meal this year, I set it at 2 o'clock because to me it's just, it's right. It's past lunch, but before dinner, but kind of that in between what we used to call supper, right? And so I set our time at 2 o'clock. Interesting enough, man, did that generate a lot of feedback on that Facebook post. And but according to him, his recommendation was the perfect time for Thanksgiving meal is 2 o'clock. Well, of course it is, because that's what I picked. So I know. All right, let's go in, guys. Exclamation point boot. And let me click back over to Nightbot. And let's see what Nightbot chooses as our winner today. Quilter 824, Janet. So congrats. You get the June Taylor stocking. And so again, if you will send me an email to John, John, at guyscraft2, we will get that out to you this week. Another thing I have to work on this week is getting all my Christmas wrapping done. So I need to get all of that out of the um, closet and get all that put together. Still got to ship my daughter her stuff to Virginia, and so I want to make sure I got time to get that done. Her stuff usually gets just put in bags because by the time they beat it up, uh, getting there, I found over the years that really it's just as easy to put her stuff in bags and do it that way versus any other way, really. But then I've got 3 boxes that have got to go out. I got to get one for my son, one for my daughter, and then one for my niece. And then I've got to wrap my partner's stuff and get all that put together. But that'll happen after I get my Christmas tree and that up. And Miss Janet, you are so welcome. I appreciate you being on the channel with us today. Catherine says 2 p.m. is a fabulous time. See? Thank you. So we will definitely be getting there. So after we finish today, I have to go start Paula Deen's mac and cheese. Absolutely love Paula Deen's mac and cheese, and it's cooked in the crock pot. So it takes about 3 hours typically. So as soon as the live is over, I will run and do that. I will probably start working on the dressing because I like for my dressing to sit and kind of marinate a little bit before I bake it off. And then the rest, my corn pudding and broccoli casserole and that, I'll probably wait till about 12:30 to get it going. But I will probably be ready for some type of snack before then, because all I've had really this morning was an Uncrustable before the live. And so I will probably be ready to snack on something. But the house is ready. I do have to set the table. I've got everything ready. Believe it or not, I couldn't find, apparently I don't really have turkeys, those type of things for napkin rings, which really surprised me. But I will definitely be getting those ready. And oh, sorry. So that's my daughter saying Happy Thanksgiving. I love you. And that poor child, like I said, it's got a lot going on right now with losing her father-in-law the other day. So I did get up this morning, ordered an Easter lily to send to the funeral home and that. You know, people don't send flowers like they used to. And we never sent flowers. We always sent a plant, you know, a planter. They actually had one that I had a really good friend had given me for my dad's funeral, and I ended up never getting it. But that's okay. Such is life. But it is interesting how we do different things and hold on to different memories because of it. And so that is always something interesting. But anyways, what I was talking about is I went to get the napkin rings out because I have to use, you know, cloth napkins and that because that's just me. And trying to figure out how I wanted to put those things together and what I wanted stuff to look like, and then realize Oh, I don't actually have like turkey um, napkin rings, which is just beyond me. So what that means is my partner is probably going to have to make some on the 3D printer, but not today. So um, I did find haystacks of all things that I had bought a few years ago that were napkin rings that really just go perfect with the theme because I did keep my table set for Thanksgiving. Like I said, I've got a few things out for Christmas already, but not really a lot. He was putting out throw rugs for us, um, and all of my throw rugs for the kitchen and that are um, Christmas. But I did want to get a few of those out in that. But beyond that, I haven't tried to put a lot of Christmas up. I've tried to keep it really more focused around um, Thanksgiving, which is typically what I do, because I like to celebrate Thanksgiving. I think it's sad that we jump from Christmas or Halloween right into Thanksgiving. Or sorry, guys, my mind's everywhere. That we celebrate Halloween the way we do, but then jump straight to Christmas, and it's like, but Thanksgiving deserves a little attention, right? And I like decorating for Thanksgiving because I like the oranges, the maroons, the um, colors right around Thanksgiving. But I get tired of those real fast, right? I mean, so I'm ready tomorrow to just chuck all of that and say, no, I'm ready for Christmas now. Here, let's do this one. I'll be anxious to see how that gets put together. Becky says, we always did 3 to 4 until my son started working Thanksgiving Day. Then we switched to Wednesday night. Now I cook for lunchtime 12 to 1. Now that makes sense. And it's funny. Um, I've got friends that go, no, they actually do Thanksgiving on Saturday because a lot of them work Wednesday, they're off Thursday, they work Friday, and they're like, so we don't want to do all that Thursday, have all that, yeah, and then have to go to work the next day. Um, I have just been fortunate. Most of the companies I have worked for, because I've always been tied into manufacturing for the most part. So most of the companies I have worked for over my career, we've always been off for Thanksgiving. And that's really just because um, financially it made sense. So it's interesting when you work for these large, manufacturing sites and that you don't think about what are the startup costs. So when you go in and you shut a facility down, you turn the machines off, you turn the AC off or whatever, and go through all of that, and then when you flip the switch to turn it back on, it costs a lot of money, and it really doesn't make sense to shut down Wednesday night at whatever time and then flip it back on Friday morning to flip it back off Friday night to turn it back on Monday morning. And so most of those places have figured out over the years it was really to their benefit to give you the day off, even with pay, because that cost them less in the long run. And I think our unions help negotiate a lot of that too, right? So, I mean, let's not always just give all the credit to companies, but at the same time, um, I always find it interesting how my unions will tell me um, how to save the organization money or how to do things. And I'm like, yeah, and you don't have a dog in the fight, right? I mean, like, you have nothing invested here. But yet they always have a very formidable opinion about how we should spend the money. That's okay. That's what they're there for. We all have our purpose, I guess. Sweet Granny goes, I say 1 o'clock, but it ends up being 2 o'clock for those people that run late. Yeah, I agree with that. I know my ex's family, we always had to tell them an hour difference because I can tell you my in laws were always at least an hour late. So we used to always lie to them about the time. And occasionally they'd show up on time and then be mad. And it's like, really? Because you're all never on time. So, like, everybody in the family knows to lie to you all. And I'm just the opposite. I have always been one of those that it triggers something in me to be late. I have to be on time. Oh no, did I really just do that? I did, guys. I'm talking too much. All right, for the first time today, I'm gonna have to seam rip because I actually put too many on one side. All right, so that does happen. Now, I haven't had to seam rip today, so I don't know where my seam ripper is. So let's stop and look for it. There it is. Melanie goes, "Oh, it would have helped me if to put all on chat. That does help. It does make a difference. That way we could see what you're saying and we can help participate." Janetta says, "Just got an exercise mat and puppies laying on my head while working out. Honey did not give you kisses or the TV today, but did sit and watch you." Oh, that's Mama Jan. That is going to drive me nuts that it's coming in that way. We will definitely need to get her ID fixed back. Thought maybe she was calling me Honey, but Honey's the dog. So it's all right. I think I've done pretty good that I only had to get the seam ripper out once today. What was that? Right. This one doesn't want to start now. Where are we at? We're at 9:17. We're gonna need to do another giveaway in a minute because I think I have, yeah, I've got two more giveaways to go. That will be fun. What else is going on? So the weather here is still just been absolutely beautiful. So we are not dealing with any of that crazy snow and all that craziness. Oh, Inappropriate Quilter says she's back again. She's been dealing with, I cannot imagine. I tell you what, one of the ladies that I work with has been sick the last couple of weeks, and she was like literally down and out for like 2 weeks. And they gave her one of the steroids to help get her. And then apparently she didn't, that did not agree with her. And she was like, that was worse than being sick. So I was like, just don't come in my office. Just don't get near me. I don't absolutely want anything that you have because I had that a few weeks ago. I had COVID again. I feel like I had COVID now all the times that I need to have it. And anyways, I had COVID again. And then, so I asked I went to urgent care, asked them to give me Paxlovid because I have so many other issues. And she said, I'll give it to you, but I will tell you that what we're seeing is folks that have COVID, that are taking Paxlovid, they're having a bounce back a couple of weeks later. It's worse than having COVID. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. You know how doctors are. She was right. I got it about 2 weeks later. I got it. I actually had to call out because we can work from home. Really, I can do my job from home every day, but I have to be in the office 3 days a week, which I'm grateful for. Right, it's better than 5. But interesting enough, we had I got the bounce back, and I actually had to call off and say, no, I am actually taking a sick day and just staying in bed all day because it just beat me down. I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but like, no, I just need to be able to get in bed and hibernate. And and this is the worst time of year, right? I mean, who wants to be sick this time of year? This is getting into all the parties, all the fun, and all that kind of craziness. Jordy says, does the leader praying you don't get caught in the crossfire? Yes. Yeah, our caretakers tend to be the ones that end up getting it worse after. But tell you what, there's just seems like everything's going around right now. This is not a time of year that I necessarily like to be out. I like Melanie says being nursemaid sucks. It does, I tell you. I tell you what, my daughter was such a good nursemaid. She, whenever I was sick, she was one that always wanted to take care of me. It's interesting. She's always been a good little mother. Zaza says, Melanie, especially two males at once. I'm running room to room. I have no idea what she means by that. Do not understand that statement at all. Mm-mm-mm. Crazy. So now that we've been watching the Harry Potter Bake Off, and it's being filmed at the studios, the Warner Brothers studios over in London, has just made me now want to go over to Great Britain more to see, to go to London and see the studios and that, but then get over to Ireland and see all of that area, out to Scotland. It's like, so badly want to go now. And what I'd really like to do is go over and see some of the Harry Potter sites and that, but then jump on a Viking cruise and go up and down the coast and all that. I mean, 'cause it looks so beautiful, right? I mean, Hallmark did a um, holiday movie there. Lacey Chabert did it, I think it was last year, 2 years ago in Scotland. And it was just so, the countryside and all that. It's like, oh, and life just seems like simpler there. I'm sure if you get into London and that, it seems as crazy as some of our cities in the US. But I don't know, it just seems like so much, s- people just seem nicer, more peaceful. Um, Things just don't seem as crazy. At least they make it seem that way in the movies. I don't know. Zaza would have to tell us. Maybe they're all just as crazy as we are, but um, I don't know. I think what I like about having the YouTube channel, right? I'm able to be on, share, and be with people that we all have the same interest and all that kind of stuff, but we're all polite. We all get along. We support one another. And, it just seems like our country has just become so mean and just so crazy about just different things. And it's like, guys, y'all just need to chill. I mean, the fact that we couldn't even get a budget put in, it's like, come on, guys. I mean, we elect you all to work together. Used to be we valued different opinions. So I don't know. All right, this blog definitely turned out scrappy. This one is really almost making my OCD hurt just a little bit. As Zaza says, the Weasley twins, they are. It's so funny. It's been interesting because they had Luna on the other night as one of the judges and that. I can't remember the girl they had on last night. She's the one. She was the one that went to the dance with Ron Weasley. Um, so it's interesting to see what they decide to pull out of the movies and or the books and what they want to have a cake or whatever done. And then they usually show a clip of the movie about that. And then they've been bringing back some of the actors and that from the movie to be judges and that. So it's really, and of course, I'm just still so new to Harry Potter, still trying to get it all figured out. See, this almost makes my OCD hurt because this is just all scrappy all over the place. I'm trying to do it a little bit more scrappy looking. We will see how that turns out. All right. Zaza says you can do the Outlander tours too. You can get the cruises to the Arctic Circle or the Norwegian Fords from Scotland. She says it seems the same. Everyone's angry everywhere anymore. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just, life is too short. And I think that's why I tend to stay in my community here. And even some of these retired people are, you go to the grocery and run into some of them, and they're so ticked off at the world and that. And it's like, look, you don't even have to get up and go anywhere or do anything. And you chose this time to come out when, it's like, why, why are you so cranky? You don't have responsibilities anymore. You don't have anywhere you need to, it's like, and yet you're still ticked off at the world. It's like, wow, it's just sad anymore. It's like I laugh every time I go to the airport to get on a plane because everybody at the airport's mad. Like TSA's mad, the check-in agents are mad, the flight attendants are mad, the gate agents are mad, the passengers are mad. I'm like, it's just crazy to me. It's like everybody's upset about everything, and it's like, why? I mean, life is too short, folks. We need to figure out how to get along better. I want to live in a bubble, I guess. Stay on my YouTube channel and just stay with my safe friends that all know how to get along and support one another. All right. Let me sew one more piece on here and we will do another giveaway. This one's going to be interesting because this just came in. So, I have this small Etsy store and that we're selling 3-yard kits and all that and different things. And my wholesale order just came in and I thought, you know what, I got to grab one of those and we will put those on we will do a giveaway with that because I know hardly anyone will have this. And it is the brand new, hot off the press, Step It Up with 5-yard quilts. It is the newest book from Fran and Donna over at Fabric Cafe and this is 5 yards. So, I think this is only their second in the 5-yard series. So that is still very new. They're still getting that kind of up and going. And so that makes it fun. So let me go in. Let's set this up. What do we want to do? We'll do exclamation point. Let's just do exclamation point yard, YARD. So for 5-yard quilts, and look at some of the patterns on the back. Because obviously, by doing 5 yards versus 3 yards, you're able to get that. Look, Balloona says, I already have that book. Are you kidding me? This book just came out. It's October 2025. Tell you what, see, there's always those. So yard, exclamation point yard will get you registered for that. But I have not had time to really sit down and go through the patterns. I really like what they call disco on here. I think is a cool pattern. I like salsa on here. I like several of these patterns. So at some point we will be working on that because I definitely need to add more stuff to work on and add more stuff to my collection. But it is what it is. So I can't believe Balloonist already has this. It's just killing me. Because it is their newest and latest. So that's why I thought, oh, I'll be able to actually give away something I know no one else has even had time to get to yet. But that's okay. Oh, Melanie says, I love 5-yard quilts. I do the 3-yard quilts and then I flip back. I think I've really gotten back into Villa Rosa again just because their patterns are easily to convert over to the AccuQuilt. So, and because I just enjoy using my AccuQuilt, it just makes life so much easier for me. Um, But I do love watching Fran and Donna, and I watch a lot of their channel, and spend a lot of time on there. And in fact, so much so that my channel seems to repeat either Fran and Donna and goes to the Fabric Cafe a lot, or it goes over to AccuQuilt. And of course, I love watching Rose City Originals. I would really like to meet him someday. I saw him at QuiltCon, but I really didn't get to even say hi or get over there. And I would like to do that sometime because I think Chris is really a cool dude. Um, we'll see if we can't make that happen sometime. All right. Oh, look, there's Grinch. I haven't been using much of my Grinch fabric. How do I keep overlooking that? Grinch should be in every block. Every block should have a Grinch. Now I missed that. Let me grab this. All right, guys, let me do this real quick. This fabric and this one, and then we will do the drawing for the 5 yard quilt book that Balloonist already has. How crazy is that? All right, give me 1 second. All right, let's see what Nightbot says is who our winner is. Balloonist goes, oh, I get it directly from them. That makes sense. Well, Jackie says I don't do many quilts. I do a lot of table runners. I get that. Sewing Wolf is our winner. So, Sewing Wolf, if you will send me an email at johnjohn at guyscraft2, just put 5 yard quilt or 5 yard in the subject for me. That helps me. I will get that out to you this week. So, he was saying Jackie says she does a lot of table runners. I don't blame you. I do. I found that one pattern that I like, and I think I did 15 of them because part of them turned out to be Christmas gifts and that. But I just like the feeling of completion sometime with doing those. And this one, they weren't quilted, so I was able to just do a lot of stitch in the ditch to make them finished out pretty quick. So I like that. Um, but I did like I think it's called At Home. I can't remember book that Fran and them came out with about a year ago, and that's because in that book, not only did it have the 3 yard quilts, and I think it had 8 patterns. I think they always give us 8 patterns, but it also had how to if you're making that quilt, make this make this pillow to go with it, or make this table runner to go with that. So it had a lot of home stuff in that book with it, and that's one of my favorite books for the Fabric Cafe for that group. And we got to meet Donna I did get to meet Donna and Fran. I talked to Donna more. Fran was actually running the register, but did get to meet them at QuiltCon. They are just two super ladies. They could not have been any nicer, more supportive of us, the channel, and said a lot of nice things. And so it was amazing to get to meet them, get to say hi. I probably should have made them sign a book. Didn't even think about it. It's kind of like when you're caught up in the moment and there's so much going on. And they were very inquisitive, right? I mean, so they were really good talkers, which made it fun. And so they had lots of questions and asked about the channel and all that kind of stuff, which was nice. And so it's always nice when they like reciprocate. So, of course, I could have asked them 100 questions because I always am an inquisitive guy and have a lot going on. But it was fine. It was nice that they were curious and wanted to know about the channel and different things. So I was able to share with them. But very personable. Some of the vendors, I know they get overwhelmed in that, and I'm sure they get tired by the fourth day or whatever. But some just weren't as um, hospitable as some of the others. And that's fine. They don't have to be, but this sometimes makes you wonder. It's like, well, what do you have going on? That is that crazy. Dude, I haven't done this one for a while. I really do like that fabric. With it. Melanie says I've made Block Party 3 times already. Look at you. Um, Hi, Jean. Thanks for being here. Oh, Balloona says they did sign the book for her. See, they just, they were such just very nice, natural, down to earth people. And let me tell you, their booth was busy and they had a corner booth. And I think they had like 2 booths. They probably had 3 booths. But it was absolutely running over busy and they had all kinds of kits in that, which were really cool. Joyce is here. Hey, Joyce. Thanks for being here today. We are running up on the top of the hour. Guys, I cannot believe that how fast our time really goes together. It's nice that I'm able to actually get some sewing done and get focused, because the nice thing about keeping me here for 3 hours is my partner's able to go do other things and not have to put up with me. So I know he enjoys the break because he likes to do his own thing occasionally, not have me hover over, because that's just who I am naturally. And so I know he appreciates having a little break and enjoys when I am um, focused on other things. That's all good. It's all good in the hood, right? Right now, let's see. Did I do that right? Yes. All right. Oh, no, this one needs to go here, doesn't it? Yeah. That one that way. I'll do that one that way. So I did not get as many blocks done today as I had hoped. It's okay. It's not on you all. Definitely on me. And I appreciate all the chat that you all jump on here, are willing to spend some time chatting with us, keeping things going. It's always fun time. Have to think about, what do we want to do for Christmas? So we will definitely have another sew along holiday quilting bee then. Then we just have to figure out what makes sense. Don't forget, Katie said she is doing her regular live today. So definitely we'll want to jump over and see what she's got going on. If you're new to the channel and not been to Katie's, I'm not sure where you've been. Like I said, her followers have just grown tremendously recently. So she's up to almost 10,000. It's just crazy how fast her channel's grown. And there's the link to her channel if you haven't seen her today. I haven't seen Danielle today, so I'm not sure if she's got anything going on. Danielle did text me this week to ask if I was going to do the holiday quilting bee, and I told her I was. Then I didn't hear back from her, so I don't know if she was planning to go live today or what, but we'll see. Jacqueline in Stitches says she's a new subscriber here. Happy Thanksgiving, doll. Thank you for joining the channel. Thanks for being a new subscriber. That means a lot. It helps reaffirm sometimes that there's someone out there actually watching the videos and that and watching what goes on. We appreciate each and every one of you. Welcome to my YouTube family. Thanks for being here. My previous subscribers will tell you, you never know what's going to happen with John or what's going to be said or what's going to go on the channel. We always have some different things. My regular live is scheduled for Sunday at 4 p.m. Arizona time, so we will be back in normal on Saturday. Hopefully, having some time off this week, we'll be able to get you a tour scheduled for the new studio and show off what's been going on over here and get some of that put together for you to take a look at. Oh, look at this one. This one cut out and just made the perfect snowman. How cool is that? I definitely want to use that one. What else? Nope, already used that. This is getting tough. And I still have lots of squares to go. I just need to, I think, just work through and versus trying to grab it. But I feel like my colors are too close together. Like I have all the same colors grouped together. So I really need to kind of shake that up if I'm going to do that. So maybe I'll look at that before I end up jumping in to finish some of these. Yeah, I just did that color. This is crazy, guys. All right, let's do that one. Look in that one. Oh, Janet says Danielle said no live today. Okay, I was wondering because she, like I said, she texted me, but then she didn't say anything else. So, and I didn't see her join here today. Of course, she's got her boys and that to take care of too. So, and imagine she's another busy, busy lady. She always has a lot of arms and a lot of fires, it seems like. I think we all might as well just admit that's just the way of the world anymore. I remember years ago they kept telling us, how much easier life was going to be. We get computers, we get cell phones, we get all that. All I know is that I'm never offline, I'm never unreachable, and work seems to realize that. And definitely still working 40 plus hours and certainly hasn't impacted what I do. And it's like, just, our jobs have just changed, but they seem to keep evolving. And I think life was much simpler when I was able to ignore if I wasn't home, you just had to keep calling until I showed back up. And, the great technology was the fact that we got a answering machine. Best technology we ever got was caller ID. That's the best thing. But, beyond that, it's like you just never know what's happening, what's going on. So much going on in the world, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down. It seems like we're all just staying as busy as ever. And I can tell you what, just the ladies and the folks that I know that live and work in this little retirement community, it's like, guys, I want to be much slower than that when I finally get out and retire, because some of them keep a full agenda and they're somewhere every day doing something that's like, I want to slow down a lot. Yeah, see, we miss Sally today. I think she's with her boyfriend, her beau, spending some holiday time together, is what she had said last week on Sunday. Which seems now like forever ago, right? How crazy is that? All right. Kind of like how this one turned out. This one definitely is all over the place with design, but it'd be interesting to see how trying to put all these together and put them up on the design wall to see how I finally end up. I bet you I move these around 20 times. My partner always loves when I get something on the design wall because he knows he's got to come in here at least 6 times and look at it. So, again, pretty scrappy, right? See, this looks very scrappy to me. All right, what else? Zaza says my parcel that would be here between 1 and 3 just arrived at 4:45, right? I tell you what, it's nice to know your service works as well as ours does. Catherine says there's this big yellow thing in the sky. It's been gloomy for days. It's absolutely gorgeous. I tell you what, it's just crazy. Hey, Catherine, thanks for being here. Um, just too funny, right? Because we were gloomy for like a week. Rained for like 4 and 5 days straight. Now it didn't rain all day, but it was like every night it rained or every morning it was raining, and like we're just not used to that. We don't get that much rain in the desert typically, and so it was just crazy. It was like, guys, I just can't. This is what I'm used to on the East Coast, and I am definitely not ready to put up with that. Plus, I don't like the code that it brings, the dampness it brings. My poor old joints certainly don't appreciate it anymore. And so it's just much different. It is what it is. I mean, and sadly, living in the desert, we absolutely need the water, right? Because they keep saying we'll run out of water at some point. So, and they were talking about they had some of the specialists on talking about the fact that even though we had rain like that for 5 days, that it really wouldn't make that big a difference in our watershed, and that we would need that to happen like once a month for the next 2 years for it to really replenish and build back up. So that just makes it worse, right? So it's like, okay, so really, so I had to live through that, and then yet it doesn't even make a real impact and doesn't really help. Yet I had to live through it. I don't know. I was hoping my new glasses had come in. Um, I just ordered 2 weeks ago, but they didn't. So I guess they will be here next week. So my prescription didn't change a whole lot, but enough where I always get a new pair for work, and I actually got a new pair for quilting and sewing. So I am anxious to kind of give them a try. So we will see. Hopefully they will be here next week. I swear last year I went about the same time, and mine I thought came Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Maybe not. So I ordered them from the actual optometrist office. It's just easier with my insurance and that, and not having to play a game and go to Sam's or Costco or somewhere else. And they ended up not costing me that much because I actually have a really good vision plan, but kind of anxious to get those. We're not a wait and you'll get it society so much anymore, right? I mean, we're used to so much instant gratification. It's like, okay, you really, I got to order that and then wait? Come on, guys. Not how this works. Amazon's the one that drives me nuts. Amazon tells me that I can get something same day and then I'll order it, and then it's 2 days later. It's like, really? I ordered it from you all because you said same day. Um, or anymore, it just seems like you can't get anything out of them. It's they keep changing the shipping dates and that. It's like, yeah, you keep playing, eventually you're going to find customers just walk away. I mean, it's we order stuff because we want it. I've got, so now I really kind of check between Walmart and Amazon, because for a lot of things, Walmart is just as competitive. Um, and actually has become more reliable, which I would have never thought that would have been the case. But it's such is life. Hmm. Right. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Good looking one. All right. Oh, so also says we only get letters twice a week. I wish they'd do that here in the U.S. I mean, most of what I get in the mailbox is junk, unsolicited junk that I don't even need, um, because yeah, all my bills and that usually come online. Most of them are automatic deducted from my checking account, so I don't even see, and so it's seldom that I actually get anything in the mail that I actually want, um, other than packages, right? I mean, I still get all my other stuff, but other than that, it's like most of the time it's not. So if they cut us back to twice a week, it would not hurt my feelings. I don't know that it would hurt very many people's feelings. Oh, be good, Jackie. She says, see you Sunday. Hope he feels better. His birthday. Me too, Joylita. Everyone keep Nancy in your prayers. David said last night that her husband passed yesterday morning. Oh, how very sad. I am sorry to hear that. So that's the second death right here at the holidays. It's never easy, right? Um, but definitely keep Nancy in your prayers. I mean, because it's the holidays just seem to bring more attention to it, make it seem, I don't know, not sure the words I'm looking for, but yeah, definitely keep Nancy in your prayers because it's definitely a difficult time, right? So, and whether it was expected, unexpected, I mean, it's just always, um, always tough, and just makes it difficult this time of year, especially. I think, but you just never know what is going to happen anymore. That's why anymore, I'll tell you guys, I try to keep away from the news because what there's nothing positive or motivating on there anymore, and that's gotten crazy for sure. Mm-mm-mm. So for me, I am going to finish quilting out probably a couple of more blocks. I'll go get um, mac and cheese started as soon as this is over. Make me some lunch to tide me over until we actually get to Thanksgiving dinner today. And then, if you all have suggestions on what you'd like to see us do for the holiday quilting bee on Christmas Day, feel free to put that in the chat, email me. That's how we ended up picking the. Oh my gosh, I did this again. I did this twice now. See, not paying attention now. Um, that's how we picked the patriotic quilt that we did for what's been Memorial Labor Day, and because somebody sent it to me, it was a Villa Rosa pattern. Suggested that we look at doing that, and so that ended up being what we did. So if you have any thoughts around that, always open. Mama Jan says, good program as always. She's got to run. She's got to get ready. She better get ready slow because it's only 10 o'clock. She's not supposed to be here for 4 hours. But she's got to pick up one of our friends to bring them. So she's a good lady. She always has a lot going on too. Yes, absolutely crazy. Oh, let's do the last giveaway. It's 5 till. Guys, I get to talking and not paying attention. All right, so the last giveaway, let me get over to Nightbot, get Nightbot ready, get Nightbot all geared up. Yes, next and next. And what word do we want to use for this one? Oh, this one's going to be easy. All right, so the last one is actually a kit, and it is a Advent calendar, but it is our famous and awesome buddy, the Grinch. So this is an Advent calendar kit. It actually comes with the fabric, the panel, and everything for you. It is called the Grinchmas Advent Calendar. So Grinch, Grinch, exclamation point, Grinch, will get you entered in this final drawing. This is from Robert Kaufman. It is considered an intermediate pattern, but it is all about the Grinch. And tell me that that's not adorable. Of course, I'm a big Grinch fan, so definitely definitely something that would be fun. So it does come as a complete kit. All the stuff is in there. I'm assuming it doesn't say if the backing fabric's in here. So that I don't know. But it does come with the panel and all the supporting pieces. So Grinch will get you registered for the Grinch. That will be our final giveaway. That's the big giveaway today. Last time was our actually a spot to the quilting retreat. So try to shake it up, mix it up for y'all a little bit, and then we will get together for Christmas. I'll be on air Sunday, starting Monday. You will be completely worn out with me. I will be doing 2 unboxings a day. I think I am going to end up doing Missouri Star on a daily basis. We'll see. I just got to get that put together in my mind and figure out how to do that. Because, you've got to make the thumbnail. You've got to do the video. Then you've got to pair the video. Then you've got, it's like there's a lot more to it than folks realize sometimes. So Melanie says, I made 3 Grinch panel quilts for the Grands. Look at you. I don't know. There's something about the Grinch. And I actually like all 3 of the movies, right? I like the original. I like the one with Jim Carrey. And I never liked Jim Carrey. And I like the other Grinch movies. So Zaza says, I made Grinch stockings. Look at you. I'd like to make Grinch stockings. Jody says, I dated a Grinch. Oh, Jody, that's why we just love you. All right, let's get over to Nightbot, and let's choose our final winner. Tracy Middlebrook is our winner. So, Miss Tracy, you win the Grinch. If you would, again, send me your mailing address to John, JOHN, at GuysCraft2. We will get that in the mail and get that out to you. So congrats. I appreciate you being here and joining us on this Thanksgiving Day. Like Jody says, married to one, did not believe in giving. Just crazy. Melanie says Jim Carrey was great in the movie. Yes, I will say, I think we've all dated and probably, unfortunately, lived with a Grinch at some point in our lives, right? Guys, I really appreciate you letting me have part of your Thanksgiving. I thank you for sharing that. I thank you for being a subscriber. I thank you for joining in. very grateful for the opportunity to get to be able to share some of the crafts that I like, but again, share it with folks that are like minded, that support our channel, support us, and just be able to just sit here and chat and be together for a while. So I hope that you all have an amazing day. I hope this was a good start to your Thanksgiving. I hope that you are able to eat some fun food this afternoon and just enjoy being with others in that. Don't forget, Katie is going live. She said, I'm not sure about anyone else. I'd have to go out and look around. But I appreciate each and every one of you being here. And as always, guys, until next time, happy crafting.